But first, I'm John Bachman. The White House is working on a possible plan to close the prison at Guantanamo Bay. According to the Wall Street Journal, the president may use executive orders to shut it down, possibly the most dramatic use of executive power so far. It would require removing about 150 terror suspects from the prison and sending them to the United States, and that runs counter to a congressional ban. We'll keep you posted. Now, the battle continues between ISIS and Kurdish fighters for the Syrian town of Kobani. And now ISIS has started shelling the nearby border crossing with Turkey, apparently trying to cut off that town. A Syrian human rights group now says ISIS is in control of nearly half of Kobani, despite stepped-up coalition airstrikes over the last few days. And the money is now in place for the military mission against Ebola in West Africa. Oklahoma Senator James Inhofe has now given his okay to the extra $700 million needed for the mission. He's the last of the key lawmakers to give his approval. And with the global Ebola death toll nearing 4,000, things got very seriously quickly on a plane from Philly to the Dominican Republic. That was the video we just showed you. A man on board joked about having Ebola after sneezing, and the flight crew was not amused.
I think the man that has said this is an idiot, and I'll say that straight out.
Well, that was a flight attendant there over the PA system. That man was marched off that U.S. Airways flight in Punta Cana by officials in hazmat suits, as you see here. Passengers were actually held on that plane for a couple of extra hours before they were let go. And Ebola screenings on travelers arriving at American airports start tomorrow at JFK. They'll be including taking temperatures of travelers arriving from West African nations, and 4 more airports will begin the test as well. Newark, Dulles, O'Hare, Atlanta will start the screenings next week. And Microsoft CEO is apologizing after saying that instead of asking for a raise, women should, in his words, have faith in the system that will give them the right raise.
That, I think, might be one of the additional superpowers that, quite frankly, women who don't ask for a raise have, because that's good karma. It'll come back.
Well, today he's tweeted that he is, or was, inarticulate, and that the gender gap, pay gap anyway, needs to be closed. And the Nobel Peace Prize today goes for 2 advocates for children.
The committee regards it as an important point for a Hindu and a Muslim, an Indian and a Pakistani to join in a common struggle for education and against extremism.
Malala Yousafzai was shot by the Taliban when she was just 15 years old. She was, of course, advocating for education, specifically for women in Pakistan. And Kailash Satyarthi campaigns against child labor and child slavery in India. He also won the award. We'll have another update coming up for you in 30 minutes. I'm John Bachman, and I'll send it to Ed Berliner in Midpoint.